Be gone, Satan. Oh, shoot. Alright, so. Goddamn right. It's because I fucked up my back. Alright, so. That'll be all that. Let me hit this button here. Good. Alright. And it says that we is live. Yep. Yeah, there's two of them since I had to kill OBS and, yeah. Hmm. But now this is weird. Because for some reason, it's saying that it isn't picking you up. So, right. Okay. No, and I get that, but I mean, like, it's not picking up your audio. Let's try that. Does that work? Well, poopy. Okay, let's try this one then. Let's do. Oh, I bet you I know exactly what the hell is going on here. So, what I'm thinking is happening here is because I've got. There we go. 4 different things going here. Output device is going to be that one. Let's try that one. Well, so here's the thing that makes all that fucking fun. Um, so what ended up happening is I've got my TV hooked up as a third monitor. So let me see. Okay, how about that? Does that?
I have no idea.
Yep, nope, that fixed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
exactly what the hell needed to
speak.
happen.
Oh, yep. Okay, yep. I heard it. Okay, there.
Ugh. But yeah,
Boy.
so because I set up my TV as a third monitor essentially, so that way then my old fat ass, instead of sitting in that uncomfortable ass fucking chair that I've got for a computer chair, um, yeah, I'd be able to sit in my actual recliner and max and relax and, you know, not fun to die from back screaming. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's fixed, it's fixed. It should work when Shane gets here then,
Yep,
because
exactly.
that's really the idea here, is that I can be here for a while, and then Shane is supposed to be here.
Yep. Yeah, currently Shane is stuck at work and he'll be here maybe around 10:30, which is about time Bill's got to kick off anyway. Somewhere in
Well,
there, like 10:30,
yeah, I
10:45.
was gonna say somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well,
it's
welcome to life.
Oh yeah, this has really been something. The last this year has been rough, man.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
It's wild. I don't know what is going on, but this has been the roughest year for the group ever. Like, I
Mm,
don't think anybody has been without problem. And a good portion of them pretty serious, to be fair. Like things that they can't just step away from.
right.
But hello people. We're here. We're we have absolutely no plan whatsoever. Because at
Well,
first I wasn't even gonna be here.
yeah,
And I'm still kind of not. I'm here now, but whatever. And yeah, this is something. Is
yeah.
something.
So, a slight peek behind the scenes. Usually, what happens is Wednesday we reach out to one another and go, okay, what's the plan?
Right?
Usually, I'm the one who initiates, and yeah, like I said, I jacked up my back super hardcore on like Sunday. So, Monday, back was hurt. Tuesday, back was hurt, but not as bad. Then I woke up at 6 o'clock in the friggin' afternoon because I needed to pee, and it took me 10 minutes to get out of my bed to go take a piss, and then another 10 minutes to try to climb back into bed, where I basically ended up texting my boss saying, "Hey, look, I have no idea what the heck is going on here. My back is screaming at me. I may end up in the emergency room, so if I end up messaging you or calling you later saying, hey, or if I end up calling you later rather, saying, hey, I'm funna gonna die, so I'm in the emergency room. Don't expect me in tonight. Don't be surprised."
That
Then
is the
she
second
got
time I
all
have been asked this question. I'm gonna
for which
look
one?
up what this shit even is. Oh, it's the new Zelda game. That's part of what they're gonna talk about today.
Yep,
Because Shane has put a little bit of time in on it. I did not buy it at all. Not
I've
because
already
I have
beaten it.
anything against it whatsoever. Um, I'm being very fickle in terms of games I buy right now, like being very, very careful. In fact, the last game I bought that was like a new release, I didn't even buy for me. It was the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I bought it because I knew that my wife and my kid wanted to play it, so I bought it all for us in one thing. But the last time I bought like a new release for myself, I don't remember what it was. Like
Right.
it's so long ago now. I did not, maybe what, 4 weeks ago I bought uh Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal for the Switch along
Yeah.
with Super Mario RPG. I bought those and I beat Persona 4 Golden, and then after I beat Persona 4 Golden, I played uh I played the Super Mario RPG and I beat that. And then I don't. Oh, then I beat Catherine Full Body, which has been sitting in the backlog for so freaking long. I forgot that I even had it. Like
Right.
that's kind of what I'm doing is I'm knocking off backlog and playing a bunch of games and also going back to comfort games and things like that. My gaming habit has changed severely. Somebody here says the last game I bought might have been Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's possible. I remember buying that when it came out, and so I this okay. So look, I try real hard to give games a real shot. Okay, I do legit because I try to expect the idea that things change and things move forward. As you watch my toy channel, you know I constantly talk about how properties are malleable and things have to change, have to evolve, have to go forward, or the property dies with the generation that created it. You want new fans to talk with? Things have to change and move forward. That's the
Yep.
way it is. But there is a certain amount that you can change before it's no longer what it was. And there's something about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that bothers me. At first, I said a remake of Final Fantasy VII, modern day, more of an action RPG, built to work as the next step of Crisis Core. So I purposely did that. I played all of Crisis Core, beat it 100%, did the final bad guy, did everything there was you could possibly do, then went directly into Final Fantasy VII. And it felt natural. Like the menus and everything looked right. It felt like I was moving correctly. New fighting style here and there, but it felt right. And I said, this is exactly the idea that was at hand. Then I got to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. What?
Yep.
And now there's like ghost things, and like they force you along a path. And I get that we're probably playing an idea. I don't think it's a remake. It took me a little while to piece it together in my own head, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have talked more about it than me and have played a lot more to be able to speak on it. But look, here's the truth of it. I have only played to about that point. I've played to the point where you fight Rude. And I've played to that point twice now. So that's as much of the game as I've ever seen. And yet, I could sit here and tell you, from the experience that I've had, this is not a remake. It seems to be some sort of weird time travel, Sephiroth attempting to change history or spirit or something. It's not a remake. It's not what I wanted it to be, which really threw me off, because now they can do whatever they want with it. They don't have to follow the actual storyline, which I knew was going on almost immediately.
Right.
Because when I started it and Sephiroth starts out right off the bat, I had a problem with that. When he shows up in the first 30 minutes of the game, I had a problem with it. And there is a reason why. Because people go, oh, well, whatever. But it's not a whatever. The reason Sephiroth was a big deal was because we built up to the idea, revealed him, and then went forward. The reason Final Fantasy Rebirth doesn't have to do that is because it's playing off the idea that you've already played the original game and already know the original game, and you know it intimately. That way, they can just throw things in before these things are even meant to happen, and you won't question it. You'll go along with it. But if you took that story structure and you played it out in the original game, you'd be like, what is going on? Because you wouldn't know these characters. You wouldn't have a tied nostalgia. You wouldn't have this preconceived notion, which I know they're trying to play against. They want people that have already played the game to have something to do. But It really did bother me. Like, it bothered me to a point where I felt like I was lied to, I guess. And just like people that complain about a show that came out that wasn't quite the show that they wanted it to be,
right.
I guess you could say that I'm in the same boat on that one, because what they said was, this is Final Fantasy VII. It's going to be a remake. A remake entails that it will modernize, but play along the same lines. And I realize maybe for some people that's boring, but like, at the same time, I would also argue that when they take an old game and they add stuff to it, that's not a problem. You want new stuff to experience. But when they take an old game, they play off your idea like, hey, this is what you want. And you're like, great, that is exactly what I want. And they're like, but we're going to do this instead. We're going to take all these characters that you know, and we're going to do this instead. That's very jarring. And it takes a while for somebody to kind of like bring themselves down and say, okay, this isn't what I wanted it to be. Let's see where they're taking me. And sometimes that works out for the better. I've watched certain Star Treks that start out and I go, I don't know if this is for me. And then I got to get about a season in or so, and then I go, okay, hold on. I see where they're going. I feel it. Okay, This is the story they want to do. And if you can get to that point, and it's hard for some people, just like okay, I love Revelation. I don't give a shit. I think it's the best Motu there's been yet. I think it's absolutely solid, and I think it grows the property up and makes it what I want it to be. But I can see where people were mad to go on the journey because they started Revelation. Episode 1 feels like you got your He-Man back, but I don't think people were paying attention to the title, because this isn't He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This show is the Masters of the Universe. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's about everyone else as well as him. And in order to make that happen, you got to get him out of the way. Just like if Superman is in the Justice League, we have to find a reason for the other members to do something.
Yep.
Like, because realistically, that's the hardest thing for writing Justice League stories, is you have to remove people that would just solve the situation instantly. Like, and you could say He-Man is the face. I get that. Jake says that. He-Man is the face of the franchise. So is Pikachu. And yet you could do an entire Pokemon series and never see it. Remember the Pokemon anime? Like the actual red anime where Pikachu is not in it? And it is a fantastic thing because there's more to that franchise than a face. And Motu is based on a property. It's based on barbarian fantasy. Conan the Barbarian, Cole the Conqueror, things of this nature. This is all a big thing inside of the fandom that they were creating. And the idea originally was not that He-Man would be the main character necessarily. Like, kind of and kind of not. The idea originally, when this all started out, was they were toys. You would buy the toys and have barbarian fantasies, and the little mini comics would give you an idea of what each character does, and then you would just go play. Because that was very blatantly the idea behind it. Barbarian fantasy. There's a big castle, there's an old ancient secret, these guys are fighting over swords, one of them will eventually kill the other. When the two swords combined, you have a chaos breaker plugs into the castle, that opens up the castle. Once you're inside the castle, the power of the universe, the secrets of the universe are kept within it, play pattern acknowledged, there you go. But Filmation saw dollar signs in a single character and did it. They ran with it. And all the other characters are fodder. And yes, they are fodder. I've watched all of it. I know more about it than most people, even lifelong fans, because I've even watched the stuff that they won't watch. And I can tell you that when you're reading it, when you're watching it, the problem with Masterverse that needed He-Man out of the way was that they have all these other characters that are absolutely fantastic. Man at War? What has he done? Made a couple machines, shot some laser beams, got his ass kicked so He-Man could save the day. Big deal. Teela, literally the best swordswoman and leader, captain of the guard, trusted with the protection of all Eternos. She's no joke. She's Red Sonja. She's Valeria. She's Belit, okay? And then you take that character and she can't fight anybody. All she does is receive ass whoopings the whole show, all the time. Even when it's her episode, she'll randomly run herself into a situation where she die unless she can get a sword to Adam so that Adam can, like, walk off into the distance and be like, this looks like a job for He-Man, basically. The old Superman trope. And so the idea with Revelation was that this was Motu, Revelation. The other characters without He-Man, how does that situation revolve? How does it resolve itself? And it's perfect. It's everything it needed, because now, if you watch Revolution, they bring He-Man back. But now every character is solidified in their own competency. And you know that even without him, the characters are competent enough to get the job done. And then, there you go. Like at that point, you could tell any story. Star Trek is the same way. I'll call my own best fandom out. Star Trek is the same way. Think about Star Trek the original series. Kirk, Bones, McCoy. That's pretty much the entire show. Yes,
Yep.
there are other characters. Yes, you could say that Scotty fixed the ship. Okay, but then Kirk also has like a lot of like sophisticated engineering knowledge where he just seems to be able to fix things himself as well. And then sometimes the absolute top level engineer, the best engineer like in Starfleet history, still needs to defer to Spock's equations to understand the intermix formula for making the engines work in the first Star Trek movie. What? Like,
Hmm.
what? You're telling me Starfleet designed the engine? They built it. They created the entire system. They got it off the ground. They're testing it in a new unit. And they launched the ship in the first movie, and Spock has to come out of left field to be the hero to tell everybody how the engine works. You didn't even make it. You didn't even make it. You're deferring to a character to add property to a character that doesn't need to be in that station. Spock didn't need to fix the engine. Maybe the guy who's literally responsible for creating a third of the technology that Starfleet currently uses in terms of starships, maybe he should fix the engine. Maybe that makes a little more sense. I'm not saying we can't defer to other characters when it means something, but the idea of the next generation was to pull away from that. In the next generation, we have A plots and B plots in every episode,
Hmm.
allowing for every single character to have a general realized purpose. And not that everybody got treated fairly. You could argue the Doctor needed more episodes, and you could definitely argue that Diana needed to be a better counselor because the bartender seems to do her job better than she does. That's irritating because they still haven't got there, but
Yep.
they're getting better all the time, realizing that if you have a crew of 10 characters, all 10 of them need purpose.
Yep. Yeah. And to be fair, TNG also did another thing by adding an A plot and a B plot by making that pretty much a standard in any type of like serialized television, or not serialized, but episodic television, where the A plot is basically going to be here's what's in the episode. The B plot is hey, here's something that's going to be like long running between certain characters to develop them. And now there's a C plot, which is going to be here's the overall of like the season that we're running, whether it be, the Borg or with like NCIS, which is a show that I watch all the time. Hey, we're going to be dealing with Ari Asari for, Mossad, who's left Mossad and is now running around doing crazy shit because he just went fucking nuts being a spy.
Right?
Or Supernatural, where it's like, hey, we need to find Dad, we need to find Dad, we need to find Dad. Oh, fuck, we found Dad.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck, we
Dad
found
died.
that. That sounds like, hey, where's Dad? He's out working on the car. I don't see him out in the car. Oh my God, that's it. Oh, he's in the garage.
Yeah, pretty much,
Found
yeah.
found dad in the garage. Oh wait, dad's dead.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
that's something that became standard.
Supernatural had its plot, which was the season long plot of what
Yeah.
was building up. Then you have the series and a whole, because there is a start to the series and an end to the series. So
Hmm.
everything leading up to this ending, to completely end the series, and then you have your episode. What is our plot for this episode?
So take Supernatural and apply old ideas like in the 80s where you basically had a show that was basically led by one hero character. Sam is important. The
Yes.
other guy's just like his he's Robin.
Yep.
Are you
Make that
saying
show work.
are you saying Dean is
Make that
Rob?
show work. You see the problem with Focus He-Man,
Yep.
Focus Goku, Focus Kirk. You need episodes that justify the other characters. And you don't need them once. You don't need one spotlight. Their characters either matter or they don't.
Yep.
I mean, hell, Supernatural gave an episode to the car because the car is a character.
Yeah.
which I agree. The car is a character. That car is with them that whole time. Yes.
Yep.
The car gets an episode because it is a character that deserved character development.
Speaking of which, since we've already gone like almost a half hour into this, even though I was like 3 minutes late because I was busy doing some life bitching,
To be
welcome to
fair, there was
Fandom
also
Night.
some real troubleshooting.
Yeah. But welcome to Fandom Night, the show that plays Where's Damon regularly.
Where's Damon?
Really? I'm the only motherfucker that's gone back and re-listened to our Lost Galaxy reviews?
Oh,
shit.
fuck, that's
Damon.
right. Yeah, shit.
Jesus
Dude,
fucking Christ, you two.
just
God
shows up randomly.
motherfuck. I've literally been
No.
re-listening to our shit because the D&D shows that I fucking watch, I re-listened to all of the fucking episodes of the Halloween shit because now
Dude,
that we're
no.
in spooky season, I wanted to be okay, here's what happened over the entirety of it. I know exactly where we left off at. Cool, let's pick up with more fucking D&D.
Yeah, no,
And then I
I know what you're
completed
talking
all
about.
that like 2 weeks ago, and I said, you
Dude.
know what? I need
Yep.
something to listen to.
Dude,
Gonna
I'm
listen to all the Turtles reviews, including fucking boop, boop, boop.
Yeah,
and
but
fucking
then,
deal with Next
no, but you
Mutation.
run it. But no, Seth is right. You run into that one issue that it doesn't happen. I mean, it does happen, but it's not supposed to happen. It happened in Lost Galaxy. We talk about episodes having their own plots and stuff. Damon had his own plot for an episode he was barely in.
Yeah.
I'll say that Rangers made an attempt from the beginning to include all characters.
Yes,
But
yes.
not solid.
Yeah.
I still don't. Now this is probably more fixed today than it was when we were growing up. But if we're being honest, Rangers Mighty Morphin is the Tommy.
That is.
Yep.
It's the Tommy show.
It
Like,
was.
But I would argue that the Rangers are dead without Billy. I still think he's the most important character on the entire show.
After seeing what he's done and hearing about what he's done over the years over the course of the entire Rangers franchise, and then when you watch that Always and Forever, and you see him, and there's a new command center, and what he's done to basically, and then he creates powers, and he can just do these things. Yeah, without Billy, there is no Rangers at all, in my opinion. Not just Mighty Morphin. I don't think there's anything.
Right. But what I'm saying,
No. Well, there are like, okay, you got the Space Rangers at Billy, and then okay, there are a few Ranger teams that Billy had nothing to do with, but
no,
you know what I mean.
Shane,
You know what I mean.
the problem though is even picking favorite characters.
Yeah.
Rangers also falls into this problem of like grabbing one or two people, and they pretty much revolve everything around those people, like the most marketable, instead of working the storylines to make everybody marketable, which is why we were making fun of it with the Damon thing, is that like he was just like gone.
Yeah.
Like he even in his own episode, his birthday episode, he doesn't even show up till
to the end, and there was a subplot in that plot that had nothing to do with Damon, but then at the same time, it all came back around, and then Damon shows up and like, hey, where you been? Well, some of us got to work.
Right, some of us got to work.
Some of us got a job to do to make sure that we don't explode.
You work on the bridge. You work on the bridge. I don't know what the fuck you two do.
Right.
I'm an engineer. You know what an engineer does? An engineer makes things go. Yeah. See, we're on a space station in space. See, these people are not us. We can breathe in space because we're Rangers. They can't. I have to keep.
No. You're wrong.
Everybody can.
I've seen little girls breathe in space.
Yeah, you forget.
Oh you shut up. That's so
Power
stupid.
Rangers takes place in the Superman 4 universe.
Yep, they take place in the Superman 4 universe.
Oh my God, shut up. I hate
space doesn't hurt people. It's
just like Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy fixed something because after re-listening to Power or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a Power Rangers movie with Ivan Ooze,
right?
Yeah.
I realized that Whistle Stick bitch, she's from fucking Miranoi. Look at the way she dresses. Think about fucking Maya.
Oh yeah, there's a good possibility that she is from She just didn't go into much detail about
That
her
would be
stuff.
neat. That would be neat because it would roughly tie in, even though it's not canon. That would roughly tie into the theory that I deposed that the Sabers are the original Power Rangers that
Uh-huh.
Zordon knew about.
The Quasar Sabers are quite old. Very. See, but then but here's
That's
the
another thing I'm going to be doing
But here's
too.
the problem.
I'm just starting the process. I got to listen to a lot of our stuff, but I'm going to be taking theories, cutting them into their own chapters, and then putting them up as episodes here so that you'll be able to, whenever we come across something, that you don't have to go through an entire episode. I'm going to make them their own chapters. So when we discuss a theory, that theory will have its own chapter and then be posted as its own video. I'm going to be doing that. With
Right,
all our
which
stuff.
is going to be a big pain in the ass with Lost Galaxy, with it taking
know.
us like 30 fucking episodes to get to where we are, where we're finally down to the last
Well,
15.
if
I actually fine with that. I was
Right.
thinking about that. I've been listening to some of the stuff, and I actually think that
So what are you thinking?
the fact that we're like talking. If you listen to the first ones, we were just going episode. So there's like 7 episodes here. Anybody remember anything? No, let's move on. I
Yep.
actually think it's a better show when we're talking, and I would almost argue, just like other channels do, and I don't necessarily like to follow other channels in terms of like stealing the way that they do content and stuff, but there is something to be said for all these anime channels that are coming out now, that like there's one channel that I watch that he covers one episode of Pokemon at a time and then talks about it for like a half an hour about all the good, the bad, and the stuff in one episode. And we are kind of in the process of doing that.
Right.
We're just posting bigger, longer shows, but we're kind of giving 15, 20 minutes to each episode, unless the episode is like, hey, birthday, let's fucking move on.
Right.
So with your theory that
Or like when we were talking Next Mutation, where it was like, all right, we're on episode 12. No, Shane, we're on episode 11. We're on episode 12. No, Shane, we're on episode 11. I don't want to talk about episode 11.
I don't-
wanna
Okay,
talk
well then
about
what's
episode
happening in
11.
this episode? Oh, it's fucking Uka Uka in a goddamn zoot suit.
I don't want to talk about that episode.
Oh, yes.
I don't wanna-
That's a good one.
In fact,
Uh-huh.
just to let the fans and everybody know, I have completely forgot about the Next Mutation to a point where it never happened. And I know we have proof that it happened, but I don't if I don't see it, it didn't happen.
Hey, Shane,
Episodes, by the way, I think those episodes got copyright claimed.
Oh shit!
that wouldn't fucking surprise me. They're still up and they still work, but that
Cool.
wouldn't
They can
surprise
keep,
me.
they can keep their crappy copyright. I don't give a fuck. I don't want your goddamn crappy franchise.
Yeah,
I don't want
they claimed us on those episodes, which
Hey,
blows my mind sometimes. This channel gets hit all the time. It hasn't been shut down, but like it gets hit all the time with copyright claims. And
only
I've even
Right.
avoided doing things like we don't play music, we avoid doing clips, we don't do like actual like because I've seen people where they could post entire episodes of Dragon Ball Z and like just talk over them, and that's okay. But like we put a picture up and we get copyright claimed. Like it blows
Right.
my mind how many times this channel has been hit.
And to be honest with you, who gives a shit? I mean, like with the Next Mutation thing. I mean, why would you want to sue anybody or do anything with that fucking franchise? I mean, to be fair,
to be fair,
if they took those episodes down by force and they just took it from us, I wouldn't give a shit. Keep your crappy. If you guys are so proud of that shit that whatever, keep it. We don't want it. I didn't want to review the shit. I didn't want to watch your shit. The god awful episodes. It was hard to watch. It was hard to get through. It was hard to talk about because they didn't give a shit. That show was so badly fucking made.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they come after you for garbage.
You know why, Shane?
They're literally hitting you with copyright shit for actual trash.
The only
Yeah,
copyright
you know
claim
why?
I ever
Because
got.
fucking people like us go in and we say, hey, this show is fucking garbage. We watched it, so you don't have to. And people hear that and they go, cool, I'm not buying this show because it's actual fucking garbage. And they go, well, shit, if nobody's buying them DVDs, we're going to make money off your fucking episodes. Well, at least somebody is.
The only copyright claim that I have on my channel happened when I did a Pokemon episode where I reviewed an actual episode of Pokemon. I can't remember why I did it, but it was a while back. I think I was talking about, I was comparing it to like how Pokemon basically became a Godzilla movie for like an entire episode, and they claimed me on that specifically over a picture of Pikachu.
Sounds about right.
So I deleted the episode.
So I'm not quite. I missed the first part of your rant, Bill, when you were talking about. I know you were talking about Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
But since you were talking about a remake, what are you thinking about? Are you going to be picking up Silent Hill too? Because you can play it on PC. I know that you don't have a PS5.
Brad wants me to, so I might. He wants to go through it, and so then I might not even have to buy it. I might just go over to his house and play it.
Fair.
I don't know. If I could save the money, maybe I'm not too worried about it. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
For me, since I don't own it and I haven't played it in a very long time, it won't feel like double dipping for me.
and I get that.
And,
I wouldn't call it that, to be fair. I think it looks very substantially remade.
Right.
from what I've read, from what I've heard and read and stuff, like it is still like a one. It's still like story for story, that's virtually the same. It's that they expanded it. So like when you're running around the town or you're going into buildings and stuff, it's bigger. The game is also like double the completion time. I was told I read that the original
So just to tell you though, just to let you know, because I know you're kind of excited about this. How often do you complete horror games? Because if they keep to the original, I don't know how many people remember this because there's a lot of nostalgia tied to it. That game is fucking hard.
Yep.
Like it will end you over and over and over.
Oh, you no. See, I have a secret to horror games because I'm a bitch. I play it on easy mode because I'm a bitch.
Is there an easy?
I don't know.
Remember that in the originals.
Okay,
Yeah,
if there's not, then I'm just gonna play the normal fucking difficulty that it's preset on, and I'm just gonna have to be a man and play the damn game and stop being a bitch because every fucking spooky game scares me.
Okay, it's not that I don't get it. Because some of them, how do I put this? Some of them, once you learn how to deal with it, they're simple.
Yeah.
But like I remember some of the early Resident Evil. Like when I played the first game, I mean that game ended me over and over and over again the first time I played it, and I had to figure out what it wanted from me in order to be able to play it. And then Silent Hill, like your fighting options are severely limited
because you
have to choose to purposely like avoid fights and confrontations and whatnot for a good deal of time. But you're not Solid Snake. Like you ain't sneaking nothing.
No, in that game, it's not like Resident Evil. You're not a STARS member. You're not a cop. You're not somebody with some kind of formal training. You're a guy looking for his wife.
Right.
Looking for his wife.
And I don't think you also have. You don't have any form of gun experience. You're a guy that's never had to deal with anything, and you've never taught yourself to go to the shooting range or anything.
And that's why
when you get the gun, it even warns you the gun is more accurate up close.
Because you don't have
in a bad situation.
Because he does no formal training. That's why when you aim at the enemies, there's like a swaying motion because he's not a sharpshooter. He's not going to, hit headshots after headshots because he's a normal guy.
I think
combat's probably harder in
strangely enough, the next game that I'm probably gonna play
is that Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. It's on PC.
It is. That game's got me messed up. That might be the first Dragon Ball Z game I'll play in a very long time. I'm fighting with myself about it because it interests me, but at the same time,
17 years since the last Budokai.
I'll be playing by myself a lot.
I'm picking it up.
I mean, you are.
If it has crossplay, I don't know because you're playing it on PC. I'm assuming.
The
You would
put
have
so
to.
much time into the other games is because we got together and we played DBRP.
Yep.
Now this one,
Without that, I haven't really played. I have not played a Dragon Ball Z game.
so I haven't played one since
Over the,
Kakarot, but
I
that's like
haven't.
a few years ago.
No, I haven't put in more than 2 hours in a Dragon Ball Z game since Raging Blast 1.
Quite
Sounds
a
about
while
right.
ago. Quite a
It
while ago.
it dropped off. I got tired of pick Goku, pick Vegeta, everybody else is garbage. And then I finally heard that there was an actual balanced real fighting game, and I passed on it because I was in a state where I was like, I don't know if I care right now. Like, I'm tired of
Well,
the
those
unbalanced crappy fighter that is Dragon Ball Z. Even if I love the games, because I love Budokai 3 and a lot of the other games. I mean, I love them. I'll go back to them and play them all the time. I was just recently in the garage, not but last month, playing Budokai 3. But yet, there's something about these unbalanced, broken games that are on. It's on purpose to like play up to the nostalgia of Dragon Ball Z, but like you gotta wonder how irritating it is for somebody that likes, I don't know, Yamcha, that the first guy in the game can end you in one hit, but he can't do it to anybody else in the game.
well,
Right.
I don't know what a Yamcha is, but it does sound disappointing.
Like, and then you got people like me. My favorite character is the butt of every joke.
Krillin?
So every time I pick him, there's some he gets screwed in different ways.
I feel
Like,
like
and the power is never quite substantial. Like the humans have things like, oh, I got unlocked potential or some shit,
I
and
don't
like
I don't know if Krillin is the butt of the jokes nowadays.
I think he is. I think he
Yeah.
is, especially since in the Tournament of Power, the way that he got his victory was to kick his shoe off, make somebody smell his stinky foot, then knocks the dude out. And he's like, "That's right, I did it." And they're like, "Yeah, but you did it in a gross way." And then of course here comes Ice Cube butthole, dink, and he's out. That quick, he's out.
Well,
Bitch, first guy out, sitting
well,
on the sidelines with being shit on by gods.
well, first off,
Good job, Baldy.
you know what I'd be telling him? They'd be like, "Well, your victory was gross." I'm like, "Yeah, well, if we lose, we die, so I don't give a shit. A win's a win."
The problem that I have with stuff like that is exactly what I was talking about when you got here, when I was talking about Revelation. We need to stop this single hero focus shit. Like, I if you analyze the actual show and you look at it and you talk about it the way that we have and you know your stuff, Krillin is the strongest human in all of Dragon Ball Z. And yet, there's argument to be made that in the anime at least, Tin Shinhan and an old man long past retirement did better than him substantially. Where's the proof? Where's the proof that he's anything other than a fuck up?
Right.
All the time. Always a joke. Two guys rush the enemy. The third guy is Krillin. Krillin gets hit. Every time. They use him as a joke, and it doesn't make sense in the writing that has been given to us. Because when we do see his capabilities, he far outshines half the characters in the show. In fact, one could argue that by the time we get to Super, with things like the Super Solar Flare, if he wanted to, he even showed it. Gohan, I could kill you. Like, he blatantly shows Gohan, who plays him off as a joke. My dad has always been impressed by you, but I don't see it. Bitch, I was one of the guys that taught you how to fight. Remember that trip on the way to Namek where we were doing the spirit training? You picked up half of my techniques back then and utilized them, boy. And then he's like, "Oh, well, now I'm this big mystic ultimate fucking warrior." And Krillin immediately is like super solar flare, blinds everybody, even with their eyes closed, goes down and lays punches on Gohan, basically telling him, stop and think about this right now. I could have killed you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have no defense right now. I could have cut your ass in two. Saiyan or not. I
And
don't care if you're Super Saiyan level 5, dead.
this cuts through basically anything. And you don't have bullshit regenerative ability, so you
Right.
dead.
And yet, then you take that character, who obviously, and that character who pushed Goku into Super Saiyan. Like, he could not beat Krillin in a base state. I don't give a shit about people saying, oh, well, he was holding back. No. If you have to cap a 50 times multiplier onto your power, you are not holding back. There is no amount of holding back with a 50 times multiplier that makes any kind of sense.
Yep.
Bullshit. The fact that he was pushed to the edge of the arena and he had to use Super Saiyan means that he had to do that. He didn't choose to do it. He had no choice. He was gonna fight Krillin as just base Goku until all of a sudden he was like, oh fuck, this is real.
One thing that it doesn't matter if it is a non-canon movie, if it's a canon show, or a canon movie, or whatever it is. The one thing that you see is anytime Goku, Vegeta, or any of them start fighting in base form, once they realize that their opponent is no joke now, you always see that they power up now to Super Saiyan. Or in Super, they go to Blue. Anytime you do that. So Gohan basically was like, oh, you're a joke, and then got blinded, and then got punched in the tummy. And it was like, okay, this guy's not a joke anymore. Now I have to fight. This form ain't going to do it. Let's go Super Saiyan because I think I can do it in that form. Well, joke's on you, because Krillin has been around since Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
He has been around everybody. I have seen all of you motherfuckers fight. I have seen it up close. I know all your weaknesses. I know your strengths. I pay attention. I'm not the strongest person on the battlefield, but God forbid I'm taking fucking notes.
I mean, he almost beat Goku.
Yes, he did.
Because he cut out the ground from underneath of him and like forced him into the corner, and like you could tell that the blades could have cut Goku's skin because Goku doesn't tank them. He has to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's on purpose.
Only basically enemies that can regenerate tank shit because they don't have nothing to worry about. Even if that fucking Destructo,
the fact that all those years ago he threw it at Nappa, and Vegeta was the one that had to wise up at the last second and be like, "Don't touch it." This little bitty guy with this insignificant power level just pulled out a move that will kill you, and I see it. You will die, idiot. Like,
listen, man, I know we're stronger than them, but that is a spinning disc of pure energy.
Okay? And then, by the way, after seeing that move, Vegeta steals it.
Yes.
Because there's no indication that proves that Vegeta had that move in his arsenal until he saw it, and then he used it to cut off Gohan's tail.
And then he never really uses it ever again.
Right, because he doesn't like other people's moves. But damn it, if he didn't see an opportunity and he's like, I'm going to use that little midget's move because, like, I'm in trouble here.
No.
And it proved useful.
And he's like, damn it. And he'll never admit to Krillin.
It's never just like Tin Shinhan. Tin Shinhan can use the Kamehameha. He doesn't want to.
Because he didn't develop it. It's not his technique. He's technically never been part of the Turtle Hermit School. He was a Crane student.
I was going to say part of it is that, and then part of it as well is because he moved off and started developing other shit aside from Turtle Hermit School.
Yeah, because he also doesn't use the Dodonpa.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do the Dodonpa anymore.
Which is a Crane technique. Now, I know this is arguably a Crane technique, but that's arguable because all that Roshi says in that moment is, you taught him that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a Crane school technique. It means that it's a dangerous, life-sapping technique that people stay away from because it's dumb and to kill yourself.
But it will hurt your opponent.
Right.
Because Cell, I don't give a fuck how strong he was. Every one of those hits hurt him. Because it had to have, because he was even making the noise. Ugh. And then
Look,
when he finally got out, his eyes were bloodshot. Not because of pain. That's a lot more because I'm stressed out that this bitch is holding me back.
Right.
And
Blatantly.
blatantly, I could kill this dude in an instant.
Well,
But
because
right,
he could not get out of that
and
hole.
he knew
yeah,
it. He knew this. That
He
he knew.
was trying. He desperately needed to get to the android. So
Yep.
he wasn't playing.
No, he was.
He wasn't holding back
But
this argument that I see in Dragon Ball Z all the time, like,
and
oh
you know,
well, these characters were holding back.
but
You don't hold back with 150 times multipliers.
and
Oh
Krillin
shit.
and Tien would not, and he didn't even have a chance to power up. We all know that second form Cell could have easily ended Tien. He never powered up, like to try to get out of there, like power up higher than your attack, so it does nothing. But he didn't even do that because Tien was like, no, 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 and then he stopped for a second, like, you done? No, no, okay, I'm gonna just keep firing because you're an idiot.
right.
Um,
And
but no,
it's just like with Chaozu. Look, sometimes when you do the move that kills yourself, that's out of desperation. Like when Chaozu
Right.
said, "Goodbye, Tien," kaboom!
yep.
That's out of
Yeah.
desperation
Do
for,
him any
hey, this
favor.
big bald fuck, he needs to go. He needs to go now.
Okay. Well,
Bill has to
that's
leave.
Bill's
me.
got to kick
I gotta
out.
go. I gotta drive a long, long way.
Right.
All right,
Uh,
buddy.
We'll see you,
I'll tell
man.
you guys when I'm coming back home or whatever. I don't know.
All right,
No worries.
Later on.
later on, man.
So, seeing
But
as
no,
how it's
yeah,
just me and Shane,
those techniques and stuff.
here, let me do that, and then let me come
But
back over here.
no, I
Boop,
think
there you guys are
the
again.
re the I probably should have worded it better when Bill was here. I shouldn't have said I don't think Krillin is the butt of any jokes anymore. I should have said I think Krillin is getting more respect though, not from the writers,
Right.
from fans. I've seen the clips. I've seen people's comments on when you watch Goku and Krillin shoot their Kamehamehas when is in Super Saiyan Blue and Super.
Right.
And Krillin is not getting immediately blown away. He's fighting back, and at one point, his Kamehameha is pushing Goku's back towards him, meaning that I'm winning the battle right now, which means that Goku had to kick it up a little bit,
Right.
meaning that he Krillin was holding his own, and that's and it doesn't matter because in Super Saiyan Blue, Yamcha couldn't do that. He couldn't use his Kamehameha to hold back Goku's attack.
Right.
It would go instantly right through it and hit Yamcha right in the face.
Right. But
So
again,
I'm
that's kind of the point that he was making though, is that at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, like, well, hold on, I guess I got to do a thing. Hold on.
Krillin is think is
God
just getting
fucking damn
I
it.
think he's getting a little bit more respect because he is an important character.
Well,
He's been around, dude. He's been around since Dragon Ball. So like I
and
said, he's seen everything.
right, exactly. But like Bill was saying, when it comes down to it, Krillin has that ability where if he's being smart about it, he can whoop anybody's fucking ass. That's a reason why it is that like he's kicking the shit out of somebody and they're like, "Oh, what's that? I need to do a move that like doubles, triples, quadruples, fucking 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times my power level, so that way then I can beat you." Like that's the difference between I have power and I have skill.
Yep. And Krillin there's a reason why Krillin keeps going back to Roshi's Island.
Right.
And fucking he lives there.
Mhm.
It's because he is still training under Roshi. Goku moved on.
Right.
Goku, especially in Super, he's with Whis and Beerus and them. And but Krillin still trains under Roshi. Still lives there, still learns his wisdom. Krillin isn't an idiot fighter. He's never been a stupid fighter. Not like Vegeta, who, while they say Vegeta's a brilliant fighter, he can be, but his pride and ego just get in the way sometimes, all the
Right.
time.
And speaking of wisdom, that's a good segue once again.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
So, in terms of being wise and only focusing on one hero, I'm kind of glad that they did what they did with Echoes of Wisdom. Because
Focusing.
every other Legend of Zelda game you play, you're Link. In the
Yes,
first Legend of Zelda, you're Link. The second one, you're Link. In fucking Link's Awakening, oh fuck, look at that, you're fucking Link. In Link to the Past, you're Link. In fucking
and I
Ocarina of Time, you're Link. In Majora's Mask, you're Link. In fucking Skyward Sword, you're Link. In fucking Spirit Tracks, you're Link. Do you see a fucking pattern here?
I think I just like the fact that they finally, for the first time ever, gave Zelda a full featured like adventure, like
Mm-hmm.
Link did, for the first time ever. Very
Right.
first one. Very first one. It's never been done before, ever.
Right.
Not
No,
not even.
well,
Nope. Not even on other consoles. Nope. Nope. Those don't exist.
they might not exist to you, but
They don't exist.
Zelda has technically been in 2 other games as the main protagonist. She's been in, because you got the 2 on the CDI.
Oh, yes.
Melee was, no, yeah, Melee was the first one. Then you've got,
You mean Smash Brothers Melee? Because
yeah, Super Smash Brothers Melee. Then you got fucking Ultimate. Then you've got the fucking one on the Wii, which for some reason I can't think of.
Super Smash Brothers Wii.
Brawl.
Brawl was on the Wii. Yep. And then Wii.
Yeah.
Yep. But if
So
you
yeah.
don't count, those, because those are a mesh of different Nintendo characters coming together to
Right,
beat
exactly.
if you don't count that, if you just talk about a kind of a game that Link got, like an adventure like Link gets, going to temples, solving the problem, basically I have to go
Then yeah,
rescue
then
Zelda.
this would be the third one.
First one for me.
Well, yes. I was
But
gonna say the first one for a lot of people because a lot of people don't see the Philips CDI as an actual Nintendo console
because it's not, in
because,
my opinion.
well, one, it isn't, and that's because what ended up happening, and we've been through this history a million times for you youngins who don't understand the console wars like us old fuckers. Um, Originally, Nintendo was talking with Sony to create a disc-based gaming system, which then became the PlayStation as soon as Sony said, "Hey, we're basically done with it." And then they found out that Nintendo was double dipping and talking to Philips to create a CD-based system, which then became the Philips CDI and fucking failed miserably.
Which then Nintendo inadvertently created one of their competitors.
Yep. But to be fair, the Philips CDI only made it one fucking generation console.
Yeah,
Whereas,
but
yes, when it came to PlayStation, yeah, they made them a major rival
yep.
because Sony basically said, "We're not about this video game bullshit." And then
In
they
fact,
talked them into this video game bullshit, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you're gonna try to fuck me? Well, fuck on you, bitch."
and arguably the PlayStation is, well, and then of course the PS2 becomes the highest selling console of all time,
Yep, exactly.
which Nintendo is still in there. Like Nintendo's like number 2 and 3 and all that other stuff. But Sony does own the number one selling console.
Yep,
So, but Nintendo I don't think cares too much about that because they're still extremely successful.
right.
But because making these like games like the Echoes of Wisdom. And so, no, I run it. I don't really talk to many people that don't like Zelda games. They're easy. They're not like terribly difficult games at all.
They
Um,
are and they aren't. Like, as
some of
somebody
the
who has played all of them except for Spirit Tracks,
I
because the
well,
first
that's
one that I ever played, like most people, was Ocarina of
Green
Time.
Up Time, correct? Yeah, same here.
Because I rented it from the video store that my
What
stepmom worked at.
the fuck's up?
Or
The
no,
fuck?
was it that one or was it Majora's Mask? It was
The
either
fuck?
Ocarina or it was fucking
Do
Majora's
you rem-
Mask because
do
I
you remember?
remember I got a VHS in the mail because my grandma, okay, fucking weird side story, but growing up my grandmother got us the Nickelodeon magazine. And for you old fucks who know what I'm talking about, there was basically a magazine that came out, like an EGM or that kind of shit, where it was basically Nickelodeon based. So there was like a bunch of, hey, here's what's going on with the shows, here's an interview with cast and crew, here's all this other shit, here's like literally a comic book section, blah, blah, blah. And I can't remember if it came with that or if it was because she got something Toys R Us related, but there was a VHS that came out that literally was showing off, I believe, Banjo-Kazooie, as well as Majora's Mask. And when I saw Majora's Mask on the VHS, I was like, holy shit, this thing looks fan-fucking-tastic. I want to fucking play this damn game. Because literally the part where fucking Link turns into a Zora, I thought he was turning into a vampire. And I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck this game is and what's going on. But holy shit, it looks creepy and fucked up. And I want to fucking try this shit out. Because fucking that vampire looking motherfucker, like, creeped me the shit out. And I want to fucking play that shit.
Right.
And, yeah, I was super hardcore misled. But I remember I did beg and beg and beg and beg and beg for us to get fucking Majora's Mask, and it did end up being like one of mine, my brother, and sister's favorite games. Basically to a point where the three of us would try to fist fight over the N64 at my dad's house to see who was going to play and who was going to be sitting around. And 9 times out of 10, I was usually the one who ended up playing the game.
Right.
But yes, so it was either we rented damn it, Ocarina of Time. We either rented Ocarina of Time and I played it for like all of a weekend and said, "Man, fuck this shit," and literally got rid of it. Like
Do you
took it back and never played it again until years later.
do you
Um,
do you remember if it was a gold cart or a silver cart?
oh no, I know the difference between the gray cart and the gold cart, which the gold cart was Majora's Mask
Mm-hmm.
because it had the fucking holographic thing on the
Yep.
front. Man,
Correct.
trust
Yep.
me, I know the difference between the two because I own both of them. In
I
fact,
yeah.
if I really wanted to go fucking digging, I could literally walk over there into my storage room and dig through all of my fucking gaming shit and pull out the fucking cartridges right goddamn now.
I legitimately have both carts in my hand right now because these are
hmm
like the only 64 games I have. Like these are the only 64 games I have left, are just the two Zelda games.
I have Paper Mario, the two Zelda games, um,
I
Hybrid
don't.
Heaven,
I don't even know these.
um,
Would work. I don't even know these would work anymore.
fuck, Battle Tanks, Global Assault, fuck. I think I've got Super Mario 64 and something else. I don't remember. It
I
might
had
even be
I
something as stupid as Superman 64.
I had Donkey Kong 64, but that
Oh, yes,
is
Donkey Kong 64 is something else that I own. Yes.
I'm missing it for some reason. So I don't
Oh,
have
I
that
know for
anymore.
a fact I've got it, but it wouldn't surprise me if I might have taken it over to Bill's and left it on his shelf to put it as part of the collection.
Right.
But either way, like I said, as somebody who has played pretty much all of them, including like Phantom Hourglass, were literally the only one that I have not played was fucking Spirit Tracks.
I did play that one. That one I beat Phantom Hourglass, but I didn't beat Spirit Tracks, if that tells you anything.
Um, okay, so I've never beat the first Legend of Zelda on the NES. I never beat Zelda 2. I've beaten Link's Awakening because I owned Link's Awakening DX, so I've beaten that game many a times. I beat Link's Awakening. I've beaten Ocarina. I've beaten Majora's Mask 100% 5 different times. I beat Phantom Hourglass. I beat A Link Between Worlds. Oh, the Philips CDI games I never played or beat, but to be fair, I watched the Game Grumps do it, so fuck it. Like, close enough. Um, I've beaten Four Swords Adventure. We even got, because we had pre-ordered one of the other games, and I don't remember which one it was, but because we had pre-ordered one of the other games, we ended up getting the master. I think it was like the Master Sword collection. Um, but yeah, it's like a an arranged mode for damn it, Ocarina. But I've beaten those. I beat the Link's Awakening remake that was on the Switch. I've beaten this Zelda, and I've beaten because for some reason I beat I think it was oh no I did I've beaten both of them. I beat Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, and I've beaten Minish Cap. So trust me, when it comes to Zelda, Zelda's a lot like Metroid. I've played all of them except for like four fucking games when it comes to Zelda, which is like I said, the three Philips CDI games, and then fucking no, I've beaten all but five of the Zelda games. Right, because it was the two Nintendo games and then the three Philips CDI games. But yes, every other Zelda I have played and beaten.
All right.
So, like I said, when it comes right down to it, yeah, like, yes, all of them. Yeah, because for some reason my brain keeps fucking blanking because it was Wind Waker. Wind Waker is the one that we pre-ordered, and it came with a copy on the GameCube for Ocarina of Time, as well as the Ocarina of Time Master. I think it's called like the Master Sword version or some shit, where it's
Master.
literally in arrange mode.
That one is hold on.
Yeah, I was
Believe it or
gonna
not,
say I know you.
believe it or not, believe it or not, I actually believe I own that on the GameCube. Let me find it. Here it is. I believe that was
Oh yeah, Skyward Sword I didn't. No, you're right. I did miss Skyward Sword. Twilight Princess I've beaten twice. I beat it once on the Wii, and I've beat it like three times on the GameCube. Like I already said, Link to the Past I've beaten, and Wind Waker I've beaten. And to be fair, if you at Fandom Night, it's not gonna come up for me RPG because even though I'm the one streaming, Bill just gave me the shit to like do the stream, so it's something in OBS that'll let me bypass and stream. You would literally have to at Sario says, cause hold on, I'm in the chat
okay. I don't. It was the
too.
wrong thing. I actually have the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition on the GameCube that came with the Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, and it even came with a playable demo for Zelda Wind Waker.
Right.
Still have the physical copy, and then I have Twilight on the GameCube.
Legend of Zelda.
And that's the version I beat. Well, I beat the
There it is.
Wii.
It's Master Quest is what it's called.
That's what I thought. Master Quest is the
Yeah,
one that
yeah, because like I said, Master Quest is essentially it's an arranged mode kind of thing.
pretty much.
Let me see here. Ocarina of Time Master Quest is a remake of Ocarina of Time that was scheduled for release as an expansion to Ocarina of Time for the 64 disk drive. Due to the failure of the disk drive, the expansion was never released on it. So yeah, like I said, I played that and beat that shit too. So yes, like I said, when it comes down to it, I've pretty much played and beat all of them. Same thing with like fucking like I said, when it comes down to Metroid, I started with Prime and then fucking went back because I was like, this game is fucking sweet. And I've played and beat 1, 2, 3, which is Super Metroid, 4, which is Metroid Fusions, Metroid Dread, which is 5. Fucking, I've played Echoes. I did beat it. Yes, I did. I beat Metroid Prime Echoes. Metroid Prime 3 is the only one of the games I haven't beaten. And then there was like the Metroid Front Mission, I think is what it was. The one that ended up being on the fucking the Wii. I think I came
Oh,
really fucking close, but then something happened to the disc and I don't remember like if it broke or got scratched or what, but I
And then I
eventually
know
got to a point where I couldn't continue, and I was like, man, fuck this game, and moved on to something else.
and I know you definitely played and beat your favorite Metroid, Other M.
I'm trying to think, because I
We
know
all
Zero Mission I did. Fuck.
Well, if you didn't beat Other M, that's fine. Nobody will blame you.
I think Other M might be the one that I missed. But yeah, because like I said, well, wait, because was Other M the one that was on the Wii?
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, that's the one that I started playing, and then something happened to it, like with the game itself where it fucked up. And then I was
Uh,
like, okay, well, fuck me, I guess I can't continue on.
I think it fucked up because it sucked. And it knew it.
Federation
And,
Force. Oh
Federation
shit.
Force. Yeah, Metroid Federation Force. That's the one I think you were trying to think of.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think you're right. So yeah, yeah, because Other
I thought that
M
I thought I
I
thought
might
that
have
came
missed.
I thought that came out on the DS.
That might be the reason why it is I missed it then, because if it came out on the DS, I didn't get a DS until like super late in the 3DS's life cycle. Like literally to a point where they were already talking, come get the new fucking 3DS.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I
new.
mean?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
new. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because I got my 3DS off of fucking Richie, and they were literally already like, come get the fucking new 3DS. And I'm like, because I remember Scott bitching about it, being like, fucking new 3DS, fucking it's an old system, it's just a fucking mid-gen, what the shit?
Mm-hmm.
But either fucking way, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
you play all the fucking Zelda games, and it's always, hey, you're Link.
So it's a breath of fresh air that we get to be Zelda, and this time
Well,
Link is missing.
I was gonna say, not only is it a breath of fresh air, but at the same time, it's funny the way that they did this game. Because what ends up happening in this game is in every other Zelda game, when you play as Link, your job is to run headlong into danger and try not to die.
Courage.
In this game, the whole purpose of the game is, hey, go do what you want to do, be smart about this shit. Oh yeah, I did forget about Breath of the Wild. So yes, I did do the first Breath of the Wild. I have not done the second. But that's because
You're,
I've been a broke motherfucker and I keep forgetting to go back and fucking do that one. But either fucking way, so it's still one of those things where, like I said, Link's job is run in, try not to fucking die, and be super brave and courageous as you run headlong into danger, not knowing like whether you're gonna, live, die, or grow mushrooms in your crack. With this one, Zelda is, hey, you need to be smart and wise.
yep.
Huh, I wonder if that's why it's called Echoes of Wisdom.
Then I better get a game that's the Legend of Zelda, um, Mean Guy of Power,
I
and then we
mean,
should and we should be
surprisingly, it'd
able
be
to,
kind of funny to play as Ganon, but
and it, because I mean we've done the courage, now we've got the wisdom. Like, there's a lot of Ganon's got a lot of story too. He's with them too. He's a reincarnation just like Zelda and Link are. So like, why not have a Ganon game?
well, simply because when it comes down to it, Ganon basically is always a reincarnation because Ganon was always the big bad pig man since
Mm-hmm.
1. So he's
Mm-hmm.
big bad pig man in 1,
Mm-hmm.
2, um, in Link to the Past. Um, Link's
Any game?
Awakening is technically something different where
Yeah.
Ganon isn't even involved at all, so we could skip
No,
that one.
because since that was a dream thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it was a dream because fucking Link goes off on an adventure after beating Link to. So basically, the story for Link's Awakening is everything that happens in Link to the Past is canon. Like, you fucking won, you saved the day, and Hyrule is saved, and blah blah blah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Link goes off on an adventure, gets caught in a bad storm,
and then ends up
And
on an island where he needs to wake up the
well, I was gonna say, long story short, and spoilers.
and for nobody that's played a game that came out decades ago.
Right. He basically, after being stuck in the storm passes, but his raft that he was on has broken. Come to find out, the mast fell down and hit him in the head. And as he floated around on the driftwood that was the raft, he basically is dreaming that he went off on his great grand adventure that he was supposed to be going on, and now he's basically stuck on a raft that is broken into pieces, and now he's got to figure out how the fuck to get back to Hyrule because he's just out in the middle of the ocean hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Ganondorf is
Is
actually the first full-blown reincarnation because every other time it's basically Ganon has died. We're gonna put that in
mm-hmm.
air quotes, and he's basically been like when he dies, he ends up going to a alternate dimension kind of thing, like a version of hell, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
where he basically goes in and becomes the king of hell. And it's not until Ocarina does he basically become an actual reincarnation. Um, then Majora's Mask has nothing to do with Ganon because it's essentially supposed to be a side split story where fucking after you beat Ganon, okay, after you defeat Ganondorf and he turns into Ganon and defeat him at the end of Ocarina, then because Zelda goes, oh, well, we basically took your childhood away from you. Fucking, you don't need to be 9 going on 19 like your fucking Aisha from Power Rangers. We're gonna send you back to when you were a little kid so you can go off and have adventures. So
Mm-hmm.
he
Which
basically
splits the timeline.
right, and then that splits the timeline in the fucking damn it, why can't I think of it? The Hero of Time story, which
Yep.
is
Because
all that Ocarina and all that.
Ocarina is what causes the split.
Yep, and then fucking
Because
Link
when you
is
look
dead timeline.
when you start the timeline, which I believe like Bill might have been right, there was never a timeline to begin with, but
There
eventually.
wasn't. It's fan theory. Just like how we've basically theorized with Power Rangers that without Billy Cranston, like you said before, fucking Power Rangers would have been defeated 50 times over. Because let's
Yeah.
be honest, fucking they lost their powers. They went and met Ninjor. Ninjor gave them ninja powers. Then the ninja powers got fucking destroyed. So they could no longer fucking Thundercats ho. And because
And we already know Billy knows how to create powers
right.
because he's
So
done it.
yeah, so then they go get all the Zeo shit. And then
Mm.
after they go get all the Zeo shit, which Billy had basically fucked off by then, well, now he's realizing, oh fuck, if something happens to these Zeos, then we don't have anything else because we ourselves could theorize it. If you just watch the show and only go with what's said in the show, fucking Zordon basically, he found the Mighty Morphin coins. Zordon said, oh, well, these are fucked. Hey, let's thunder. Oh, by the way, fucking now we need to fucking Zeo this shit. Because you need the Zeo crystals because the Mighty Morphin coins are completely fucked. Okay, now we managed to just find turbo powers. How did we get them? Fucking found them. They were under the couch. Here you go.
Sometimes sometimes all you have to do is just like look under the couch and you can find extraordinary abilities.
Right. Then all of a sudden, oh well, now we need to go to space because everything is fucked up and destroyed and damaged. Well, now we need to go into space. Oh well, my name is Andros. I've been a Red Ranger for fucking like 3 years now. Oh, you mean ever since like we started thunder powering? Yeah, we've like my team, well, okay, me because I'm not going to tell you that my best friend and I went out and caused a ruckus and the ruckus caused my planet to get fucking overtaken by bug people and on top of being overtaken by this like bug thing, Then my other guy, he got hurt real bad, but I'm not gonna tell you the fuck about that. So what do you guys want? Oh, well, we used to be Power Rangers. Yeah, but you're on Earth. I've heard all about Zordon and his Earth Power Rangers. Well, we ain't heard shit about other Power Rangers. Yeah, 'cause fucking clearly nobody told you about Aquatar and how Aquatar has Power Rangers, but okay. Okay,
That
well, well,
which
now
does
now
which
we're outer space Power Rangers after leaving Earth to come out here and dig around through space. Oh, by the way, fucking now we're gonna send out a space colony, and there's just a power on another fucking planet. Let's do that.
you know I've thought about this. We've talked about how becoming a ranger and being integrated with the morphing grid can give you access to knowledge that you didn't previously have 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Because like Billy even says it when he first morphs and jumps into his Triceratops. It's like he already knows how to like drive it.
Yep.
So we already know that it's integrated into the morphing grid that powers that when you pass down, the knowledge passes down with you.
Right.
Now, the one thing I guess it makes sense in a way, but it would also make it a lot easier to be able to coordinate in case a global invasion happens. Um, I thought about like because every time they have a crossover, so like the very first real crossover was with this with was in Lost Galaxy because
Mm-hmm.
they interact with the Space Rangers. Well,
Well,
they didn't know. Here's the thing, and
because I was gonna
I,
say,
I
technically speaking, yes and no.
there was a crossover before that, but like if you're
Because
talking about
the
like
aliens, but or yeah, the fucking Aquatar guys, but meh.
but here's the thing about they were not they were a crossover, but at the same time also a replacement team because the other Rangers were kids.
Right.
So they were more of a replacement team than a crossover in my mind. A crossover is when you have both Ranger teams fighting together. Um, like in Operation Overdrive when the Overdrive Rangers powers get destroyed
Right.
and they have to bring and Adam brings on older Rangers. Yes, that is a cross. It does become a crossover when the Rangers get their powers back and they all morph and they fight together. But at the beginning, it's a replacement team to come
Right.
in. And yes, they do have to cross over. So yeah, you can consider it a crossover. I also consider it like a replacement team.
Right.
But what I don't find it funny. I just find it like it'd be a little bit more convenient. Like when you morph and you get all the knowledge of like, because Rangers are always supposed to keep their identities secret to the public.
Right.
You're allowed to reveal your identity to other Rangers because you are also a Ranger. It would be nice to actually know who you are in case shit goes down. I can get a hold of you. It's funny that you hear about like Tommy's a legendary Ranger. Rangers from that other Ranger teams have heard of Tommy. You
Right.
know, they've heard about they each team heard about as or knows about the previous team, but they don't know who they are. Like I don't know your identity.
Right.
So the knowledge when you become a ranger, the knowledge of who is also a ranger doesn't come with it. So the only way to know if you're a ranger is you have to demorph in front of me,
Right.
so I know who you are. Because I don't get that knowledge. Like, oh, I'm the red Zeo Ranger. Oh shit. Okay, okay. So now I know that Sky is the Blue Ranger from SPD. I used that one. That was a terrible one because that's in the future.
Right.
But like for the future Rangers, like knowing like they know that Tommy is a little bit different because Tommy is known as the legendary Ranger, but like when they meet him in person, they know who like some people know who he is. He's a legend.
Right.
That legends follow, but not every Ranger knows because like okay, for the Wild Force and Lightspeed Rescue crossover. They had an idea. Carter had an idea of who Cole was, but he still had to confront Cole and be like, Cole, Red Wild Forest Red Ranger.
Right.
And Cole looks at him like, how the fuck is this random guy just gonna come up and call me a Red Ranger? And he's like, oh, I'm Carter, Lightspeed Red Ranger. They didn't know each other. Obviously, uh, Cole didn't know Carter was a Ranger. The identities are not transferred when they become Rangers.
Right.
I always thought that would be more convenient
You
if
would
that
think so, but
I get
if we could ever
privacy and
get the
stuff.
fuck out of Lost Galaxy, I've got some theories that kind of start going into the other shows as to like what the fuck is going on with that shit.
I know that it's like a privacy thing. I bet, but like I just think that it would be super convenient to be like, God, guys, we need help. Well, the closest Rangers. What about Jason and his team? You know, they're the closest city next to us. What if we get a hold of them, see if they can't give us a hand, and
Right.
maybe we could start calling Rangers. We got a full global invasion, but we've got like 10 fucking teams of Rangers now. Let's combine our shit like in the legendary battle, or if you want to
Right.
call that legendary,
The
but whatever.
Legendary War.
Yep, when that happened, all the Rangers came together from different teams, from different especially different eras, because there was some that we never got that you were just supposed to be like, I don't know who you are, but because we never got you and you and you. Yeah, we definitely never got you.
Right.
But I don't know. I just, when a global catastrophe like that happens, I just think it'd be a little convenient to know the other team of Rangers so I can get a hold of them easier. Because
Right.
my communication works for my team, but I can't use my communicator to call the fucking Lost Galaxy Rangers.
Well, yeah.
And you know, like how they have the Justice League,
Yeah.
where superheroes from all over the world on one team, they have their own watchtower, where they all they can become friends. Some of them become lovers. Stuff like that. A global group of superheroes. The Rangers, but remember, but even though they come together for global catastrophes, they each have their own separate issues in their own respective cities that they patrol or they protect. But they don't have some kind of like they do it with a police force in SPD and
That's
later
literally what I was about to say.
with literally, and then again with beast morphers. It's like an organization. They have the technology. They know how to make rangers.
Hmm.
So I eventually kind of becomes something like that. But like I know Zordon had his secrets. He kept a lot of secrets. Secrets
Yeah.
he probably should have told, because like TJ and them, it would have been nice for them to know. Maybe if we go to space, we can find the Ranger that Zordon talked about, because Andros is out there. But instead of but if we had like a global like headquarters somewhere where no, somewhere where governments and all that are, the Rangers are their own jurisdiction. We're here to assist.
Well, see, that's the thing, Shane. Like I said, I've been re-listening to our episodes. Did you forget all about the one like once and forever? I believe it was like always and forever.
I know now that yes, now it's like we I think we theorized that Adam and them are because of the well, see, because of we have to think of what the year it takes place. Yeah, that show came out in 2023, I believe. It came out last year, I believe. And
Shane, let
then
me help you with all your theorizing.
you got me theorizing a lot of different things right now, because we theorized that Adam and them were part of the beginning of the SPD.
That was part of it, but they were a part of SPA, Space Patrol Alpha.
Which alphas are usually your first.
Usually it's your first, but if you go into Star Trek theory with it, um, there's the alpha quadrant, the beta quadrant,
Gamma,
the gamma quadrant, and the
and
delta quadrant.
SPD stands for Space Patrol Delta.
Uh-huh. So there's a good chance that one of two things is happening here. Either Space Patrol Alpha is, hey, we're dealing with the Alpha Quadrant, which is essentially the Milky Way galaxy and pretty much everything within our galaxy. And Space Patrol Delta deals with everything in the Delta Quadrant, which is the, I don't know what fucking galaxy, but it would be basically in the Delta Quadrant of that set of galaxies.
Right. What was
The other
real quick?
thing that could be happening is, like you said, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, which means this is the beginning, and then when it moves into beta, then that'll be the next bit, then gamma would be the next, and then of course delta means that they're happening way the fuck in the future, which means that they
Well,
would be way fucking
20
closer to Time Force.
technically. Well, no. SPD takes place in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Time Force is 3001. Wait,
Mm,
3001. Yes.
yes, but that would have been way fucking closer than
Which we also theorize that SPD
O2.
is what becomes Time Force. In a
No,
way.
my theory with it is that because okay, what are we doing right now in Lost Galaxy, Shane?
Right now, we're getting. Oh, if you're talking about where we left off, we left off on the crossover
No,
episode.
not where we left off on Hardcore Cliffhanger. Um, so the Earth is bona fucked, right? It was
Yeah.
invaded. There was a big, like a hot chick that wears a bunch of different wigs and is the ultimate empress of evil.
Oh yeah,
Basically showed the fuck
Astronema.
up and said, "Hey, Earth, fucking lick this coochie."
Yeah, Astronema. Yeah.
So because Astronomer showed up and she said, "Hey, Earth, eat this coochie,"
We needed some kind of.
and fucked up the planet,
We
Earth
created.
is in turmoil.
So
Now
and
we've
then.
officially hit a split.
Hmm.
No, I'm dead serious. With my theory with this, there's a split. So they take the fucking spaceship that she invaded on. They reverse engineered it. They fucking put a bunch of smart motherfuckers who are clearly absolutely stupid because they like to stand around and go, "Damn monster fight." But they take a bunch of motherfuckers, they put them on this giant fucking biodome engineered fucking space colony, and they launch them motherfuckers to the edges of the universe, right?
Right.
Okay. They're traveling at light speed, yeah?
I believe they are
Okay. So light speed, the distance is light years, correct?
light years. Yes.
Okay. So again, 1 light year is the distance that one beam of light can travel in 1 year's time. Now, the thing that they don't tell you about space travel and light years is that you never, ever usually want to be the very first group of assholes who are going to be brave spacefaring adventurers and go off to fuck off wherever planet, because usually by the time that you fucking get there, they figured out how to increase the speed of light. And by that I mean, well, let me put it to you this way. So you played Starfield, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever run across the mission where you go to a planet and there's like this old ass looking fucking like Voyager 2 fucking with NASA plastered on the side fucking spaceship?
I did not play enough of it to. I don't.
Okay.
That doesn't ring a bell.
No, that's fine. Because I played the game long enough to fucking beat it and then started a secondary run and then fucking my subscription to Xbox Pass expired
Game Pass.
because I couldn't afford it. But yes, so basically what ends up happening is there's a mission where a group of dickbags leaves Earth. They're gonna go out, they're gonna explore the fucking galaxy. They're thinking they're gonna be fucking Star Trek the original series. And the planet that they had laid claim to as this is our planet, we're gonna show up, we're gonna terraform it. It's gonna become the next Earth. It's gonna be Earth 2 is what we're gonna call it. Because that's how creative they are. They show the fuck up. Their communicators are so fucking primitive that anytime they try to send like a fucking SOS hailing frequency, nobody can pick it up because the fucking radios that would exist to descramble the fucking radio frequency, like because there's none of those radios in fucking existence anymore, um they can't fucking do it. You literally have to show the fuck up and it's a garbled and it sounds like you're tuning through like AM radio stations. So you just fucking dock on the ship and walk in. You're met by security as they're holding literal pump action shotguns and AK 47s, going, "What the fuck are you?" And you're like, "I'm fucking human." And they go, "What?" "Dude, I'm human. You showed up in such an advanced ship." And mind you, this is still base game. This isn't fucking you beat the game and you get this weird fucking alien craft that literally fucking has like a central dome and like little spinning gyros on the outside that'll fucking put you at like warp factor 37 in Star Trek terms, okay?
Okay.
So you fucking get on board the ship, you realize, oh, these are dudes who left fucking Earth back in 2025. They're pissed off that the planet that they laid claim to is a fucking Florida beach resort hosted by fucking Sandals Cruise. And fucking there's just motherfuckers partying on their planet that was originally a dead asteroid that they were going to show up, terraform, turn into fucking rivers and lakes and lush green forest and literally turn into Earth 2.0. And they're
Right.
pissed about it. That
Understand.
actually has real world consequences. Because,
Right.
not a joke, with as quickly as technology advances, let's say some fuck nugget back in the 1970s said, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm going to Mars. I'm going to go live on Mars." In the time it would have taken them in their 1960s and 1970s fucking bottle rockets, essentially, to get to Mars, they would have only just gotten to Mars, like yesterday type of shit. Meanwhile, our technology is so fucking advanced that this cell phone right here that I'm holding has more power in it than the fucking 70 supercomputers that they had to fucking use in NASA to originally send Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and fucking Mike what's his shit, because I can't think of his fucking name right now. But in order to get Neil, Buzz, and Mike to the fucking moon, do a lap, fucking land a fucking a lunar rover on the motherfucker, plant a flag, and have Neil whack a fucking golf ball towards the fucking Earth. Houston, this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yeah, this cell phone right here that I use to watch porno and jerk my carrot to has more power than it took to get a man to the moon and back safely.
Oh yeah, technology is.
This Switch controller has half that fucking power. Because it even has gyroscopic shit inside of it, which is why I can literally fucking take these two fucking things off, and if I want to play tennis, I can play tennis, and it knows that I'm whacking it with the fucking tennis racket.
Yep.
The technology has advanced so fucking far that literally it took them 10 generations to get to the fucking planet. Meanwhile, people had already whizzed past them, terraformed the planet, colonized the fucking planet, and turned it into a fucking vacation spot for motherfuckers who were on their spring fucking break to show up, get drunk, and whip out their titties, Girls Gone Wild style. Woohoo! Look at my boobies! Woo! And that planet, when you show up to be like, look, these guys had laid claim to it way back in like the year 2050. Like, when did you guys show up? And they're like, oh, well, we showed up in fucking Universal Calendar Mark 75. Meanwhile, you're on Universal Calendar Mark like 325. So it's been like 300 fucking years, essentially, that they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And you come to find out that the year 2025 was like basically the equivalent of saying back in ancient Egypt in like fucking 2500 BC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's that level of fucking bullshit. So right now TerraVenture is off heading and hurtling to the other side of space to find another fucking planet. So that way then once they get there, they can shoot a probe back to Earth and say, hey, we found a planet, we colonized it, if fucking Earth is fucked, and you guys ain't hearing this, well, we're going to continue our mission of repopulating using the 6 biodomes full of motherfuckers. Which means eventually there's going to be some interbreeding. But we're not going to talk about that because it's a Power Rangers show.
Right.
At least not yet. But, yeah, we're going to go off and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. If you guys are still there and shit is still fucked, start sending the fucking rockets. You guys will be here, like, basically 30 years our time. Follow this path and these fucking coordinates. Be careful of that sun that we almost launched ourselves into. Because we decided to turn off our fucking engines because our commander was brainwashed and acting like a cocksucker. And if you follow the fucking star map, you'll fucking make it out here to Earth 2.
Yeah.
Well, now there's where the fucking split happens, right? This is my
Right.
theory on it. TerraVenture fucking makes it. Time Force, don't they live on basically like a fucked up asteroid where it's like 6 little biodomes? Aren't the
No,
big bads a bunch of like mutants?
I think no, Time Force takes place on Earth.
Does it? It's 100% stated that it is on Earth, and this is Earth Prime, as in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, fucking Tallahassee, Dallas,
I don't
fucking
think I don't
Seattle, Earth.
I don't believe they ever go into that. Like they don't claim, like they don't say any like cities that you would recognize.
Uh-huh.
So
So
but
this
to
could
be
be Earth 2, meaning this is the fucking astro crag that they fucking landed on. Said we're going to terraform this and turn it into the new Earth. We sent out a probe but haven't heard shit back from anybody because they didn't realize that where they fucking ended up going was 6,000 years ahead of time, which means by then the fucking Earth would have collapsed to the heat death of the sun.
Yep.
So, who gives a shit anyway? This is now the Earth because they presume that Earth Prime, which is where Mighty Morphin and all that shit takes place, is
Yep.
fucked up beyond belief. And because Earth Prime is Fubar, well, this is Earth now. We've been here for long enough where, because it took us a while to fucking get to this planet, our populace has been interbreeding for a while. And when you have fucked up incest babies, Shane, it turns into the hills have eyes.
Yeah, fuck that.
And because it has turned into the hills have eyes, like I said, aren't they? Because fucking Time Force is where I basically kicked off. Literally, I want to say somewhere here in the middle of Lost Galaxy is when I gave up on Power Rangers because everybody and their brother was like, Power Rangers is fucking kid shit. Who watches that? And I'm like, oh, not me. Fuck, I better stop watching it.
Well,
So I'm pretty sure that what's
Rancic, who is the main bad guy, is a mutant. He
uh-huh.
was he was born a mutant, and he was created. And but I believe his birth was not. It was kind of like an accident.
Right.
But he was born. He was born a mutant because he had a disfigured face.
Uh-huh.
Why he covers it with that side mask or that
The
half
hills
mask,
have eyes, Shane. The hills have eyes.
and he was thrown away from society. Would not help him. They basically looked at him like a freak and
Yeah.
ignored him and stuff. So that's when decided to fuck everybody over. And
Yeah, which is usually what happens after a long enough timeline of cousins fucking cousins fucking cousins and fucking cousins and having kids, having kids, having kids, having kids.
I mean, look at
Like
game.
it
I mean,
it
look at
legitimately happens. It happens all over the planet where fucking you come to find out that, you've got family members that nobody has heard of in ages, and come to find out they live in like the fucking Appalachian Mountains, way up in the mountains where they don't get mail. They literally have to hunt for their food, and I'm not even talking like with rifles. They literally have to use fucking sticks and rocks like they're cavemen. They have literally 3 women and 5 men, and as soon as another female is born, the men just decide, yep, that's my female now. This shit fucking happens all the goddamn time. And unfortunately, geneticists have figured out that when that shit happens, you end up getting dudes that come out who look like fucking Sloth from motherfucking Goonies.
Yep, that's kind of what happened to Rancid in a way.
Uh-huh. So again, what I'm going to say is Time Force is taking place on Earth 2. And because it's taking place on Earth 2, what'll end up happening is, like I said, there's a major fucking divide where on Earth Prime, fucking you start getting like damn it, is it Lightspeed Rescue? Yes, it would be. It'd be like Lightspeed Rescue and all that shit, where it starts turning into, hey, the government is making rangers, and the government is training rangers, and the government is in control of the rangers, because we're not gonna have fucking children up on the moon making nukes that they could just fucking launch willy-nilly because God forbid they fucking miss the monster and destroy fucking downtown Angel Grove.
We wouldn't want that.
So because of that, now you have that group, like that series of shit going on where, okay, so this is happening on Earth where certain teams are coming together, and because those certain teams are fucking coming together because the government fucking said so, that's that portion of it. Then you end up with SPD and Time Force, and there's probably a couple others, but like I said, we'd have to fucking get there because fuck if I know most of the other ones. Like I said, Galaxy is basically where I fucking kicked off. But once we fucking get there, like I said, then we'll have to start figuring out, okay, is this happening on Earth 2? Or is this happening on Earth Prime? Because if it's happening on Earth Prime, then there's some really hardcore fucked up shit that's actually fucking happening here. Or
Mm-hmm.
it could also be alternate timelines where fucking we didn't get a chance to fucking reverse engineer this bitch's ship and send it off. And when she sent it off, fucking the Earth fixed itself because we got rid of a bunch of fucking dipshit morons. And people pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and figured it the fuck out. Like, we saved a few smart people still on the fucking Earth and they figured out how to fix this shit.
Right.
But like I said, we'll have to figure that shit out because obviously, like fucking, is it Dino Fury? Is the one where Tommy comes back as the Black Ranger?
Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder. See, that's what I was thinking is that it was Thunder. But like obviously
Dino
that,
Fury is a different series.
yeah, that's a completely different series. But that's why I said it's hard to tell because there's like 5 dinosaur fucking groups.
Yeah, they
But
like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
not wrong. That's why there's so many car shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that's clearly something that has to happen on Earth Prime as a guarantee, because Tommy Oliver didn't fucking jump ship, literally, and be shot off to the fucking far edges of the universe. So this is happening on Earth, where Earth is fucking taken care of. And when Jason returned to be Mighty Morphin Red, clearly that has to be on a planet, whether that be Earth Prime or Earth 2, where they figured out what the fuck the morphing grid is, how to tap into it, and they can basically police that shit. Huh, didn't we have a group of Rangers that were police? Oh yeah, Space Patrol Delta and Space Patrol Alpha. I'm wondering if they're supposed to be Space Patrol Beta or Space Patrol Gamma.
Possibly. Maybe it's a
Which
very
means
good
that they're
possibility.
moving shit along.
Right.
So like I said, it's one of those things where obviously we got to get into the series more and more, but that's going to take a long, long time, especially when we're supposed to be sitting down right now discussing fucking Echoes of Wisdom, where I was literally going to be bringing up different points about how fucking they did a damn good job incorporating all of the older 2D Zeldas, like fucking Link's Awakening and Link Between Worlds, as well as incorporating bits and pieces from the different games, everything from fucking Twilight Princess to, especially since you could just run around and explore willy-nilly wherever the fuck you want, Breath of the Wild, which was actually inspired by the original fucking Legend of Zelda, where they didn't tell you what to do or where to go. You just started out, you're some dude standing on the screen, there's a cave, you go in the cave, and an old man goes, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this," and hands you a fucking sword, but you can actually go out and beat the game without the fucking sword, because if you run around and find items within the temple that you're supposed to be going to, like rupees and shit, you can actually go out, find shopkeeps, buy bombs, and go through the entire game without the fucking sword, and take bombs and use the bombs to blow motherfuckers up. Or get the lantern and throw fire at enemies using the lantern and burn them to death. It's all up to your imagination and your own personal problem solving, which is what fucking Echoes of Wisdom does, because there's a million and one ways to fucking beat puzzles. It's all up to your own personal ingenuity. Sometimes the puzzles are 100% like hard locked, where the only way to beat the fucking thing is you have to be smart enough to know, oh, I go to the graveyard, I kill a ghost, I use the ghost, who can go through walls, to go over there and hit that fucking switch that I can see that's on the other side of that wall. And since the ghost can go through the walls and hit that switch, well, he does that, and this door opens, and now I can continue on. You need to decide whether it is or not that you're going to fucking learn how to create water blocks, build water blocks to fucking swim your ass up a fucking mountain, or if you're just going to be fucking psychotic enough to use trampolines and beds to build a fucking space elevator to the moon to climb up the fucking mountain. Or if you're going to be so fucking hard-ass that you've literally started the game, you have 3 hearts and the ability to create 3 triangled items.
Right.
So, beds, boxes, certain enemies, shit like that. I'm going to be such a fucking hard ass that I'm going to go all the way up into the mountains, which you're not supposed to do until, like, late game. And I'm going to go hang out with the fucking Gorons up on the volcano. Or I'm going to go to the other set of mountains. And when I go to the other set of fucking mountains where it's cold as dicks and walking around in the snow causes me to freeze to death, but I was smart enough to learn how to use a candle, and since I was smart enough to learn how to use a candle, I'm just going to create a fucking candle, walk 5 feet, and as soon as it goes, "You're cold, you're going to start dying," fucking drop another candle, and then fucking walk 5 more feet until it says, "Hey, you're cold and you're going to die," and then drop another fucking candle until I can get to the checkpoints that I'm allowed to fucking get to, unlock those, and then after I've unlocked those fucking checkpoints, well, now I'm gonna fucking turn around because there ain't shit I can do here, and unfortunately, like most Zelda games, it's gonna fucking hold you by the hand. Well, okay, I say most Zelda games, but let's be honest, it's most modern video games, period, because most modern Marios, most modern Zeldas, most modern Metroids, most modern Halos, most modern Personas, most modern any fucking video game is gonna fucking hold you by your widow hand and tell you where you need to go. It's not gonna be as bad as, like, let's say, Final Fantasy 13, where it's hallway after hallway after hallway after hallway. Oh, and then there's two branching hallways, so now you can either go to the fucking right and continue where you're supposed to go, or you could go to the fucking left and pick up a fucking Phoenix Down out of a box. Which the
Yep.
Phoenix Downs are basically fucking useless in this game, because by the time you go to use a Phoenix Down, your entire team is dead anyway!
But I think I will have more to say with the game once I beat it. Probably something we could talk about next time since we're hitting time now.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but let me put it to you this way, Shane. When you told me that you're only in the Gerudo Desert,
Yeah.
Hannah started the game 2 days ago, my wife. She
Mm-hmm.
started the game 2 days ago. She's as far as you are. And that's like 3-4 hours into the game if you know what you're doing. For her, who doesn't know diddly dick about Legend of Zelda games, that's
Mm-hmm.
like 8 hours into the game.
Right.
Where I literally fucking took the controller this morning when I came home, because I got to leave, excuse me, I got to leave work early this morning because we're
Right.
not allowed overtime at work, yet I still have to go in early, because if, fucking hiccups, but if I don't go into work early, my job becomes exponentially harder, because I need to be able to go in and get a bunch of shit prepped up while I still have another guy fucking there, especially on the days when it's me by myself working third shift.
Right.
But I literally, since I said no overtime, I left work at fucking 5 o'clock this morning, came home, took a shit, grabbed a shower, sat down in this exact chair at fucking 5:30, and I turned on the fucking Switch, and she goes, "Oh, you can exit the game. I've already saved it if you wanted to play your shit." And I said, "No, I wanted to look at your shit and see where you're at." She had literally walked over to the Gerudo Desert, wandered the fuck around, killed a couple fucking scorpions, fucking talked to like 3 fucking people, hasn't even gone into the town proper to fucking start the actual, "Oh, well, we need you to fucking save us" quest that always happens in a fucking Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'm gonna do something for you." And she said, "What?" And I literally went and picked her up 3 pieces of fucking heart, 4 of those fucking gemstones that you need to upgrade your fucking link powers, in quotes.
Yep.
Went all the way out to fucking Lake Hylia, or Hylia, however you want to pronounce it, because it's only written, it's never actually spoken. But went out to Lake Hylia, fucking completed one of the fucking rifts, so when she has more of those gem things, as well as her dude has gained a little bit of extra power, because for people who don't know, when you go in and you defeat a rift, your guy gets a little bit stronger every time that you destroy a rift, and save the I guess world, in quotes.
Correct.
Um, but I went in, did one of those, and then opened up the Great Fairy Fountain and realized, "Oh, you haven't even picked up the first fucking fairy bottle, woman. What the hell is wrong with you?" Fucking spent the 700 rupees that she fucking has to upgrade her ability to hold accessories, which are the extra items that you get in the game to, make you find hearts when you throw pots, make it easier to find money, make you last longer when you're trying to be Link and whoop the shit out of enemies, lets you find more items and monster pieces, so you can go through and create the smoothies,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how you have to heal yourself, because much like Breath of the Wild, you have to cook in
Mm-hmm.
order to get, replenishing items. Unless, of course, you get a fairy bottle, and then you catch a fucking fairy, and after you've caught a fucking fairy, hey, much like any other Zelda game, I've got a fairy in a bottle. Oh no, I'm dead. Oh, what's that? The fairy came out and healed me 3 hearts so I can drink a potion and try again? Cool, let me fucking do that shit.
Right.
You can go out and explore to your fucking heart's content.
Which is
You
what
don't
I.
have to, "Hey, here's where the plot is, go here." If you want to, tell the plot to eat a fucking dick and go out and just explore and do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. You'll get yourself into some hijinks, find some funny moments, find some sad moments, find some angering moments, especially angering moments, because God, going back and playing it, literally she only has 4 hearts and can't do diddly dick, fucking sucks. With my beaten game, where I literally have everything except for I'm missing 16 pieces of heart because I only have 4 heart containers left to get. I'm missing 80 of the little blue crystals somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in which case I only need those to upgrade 2 of my items, and that's the only spoiler I will give you. Um, I've already collected every single echo, which means all of the items and all of the monsters that you can beat the shit out of and use to help you traverse and kill motherfuckers. I've already cleared all of the rifts, and I've done seven of the important side quests that get you extra shit that you can use in the game. And again, that's the most I'm gonna fucking put it down to you. So, like I said, when you go from I've got a bunch of shit, I can do whatever the fuck I want, however the fuck I want, and run around and explore the shit out of this game, compared to somebody looks at me funny and I'm gonna die like I'm a fucking wizard in D&D.
Right.
I understand her frustrations. I
Well,
really do.
I look forward to exploring and playing it and talking more about it next time. Hopefully, I'll have it beat by the next time we do this. But
Right. No, I
we're gonna have
understand that one.
we're gonna have to end this because I got to get going. I got to go
No,
help my
that's
dad.
fair. Well, either way, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Who knows what the hell we'll be doing? But since we are in spooky month, I have been doing a thing where I've been essentially trying to find more modern versus classic monster fights, as well as I've also talked to Bill about it, and we've kind of opened the floor for a few of them, where it's just going to be monster fights in general, classic versus classic, modern versus modern. Fuck it, who beats the shit out of who? When the fucking Wolfman decides that he's going to end up going up against fucking Count Orlok, fucking who wins? When Shin Godzilla decides he's going to go up against the Pacific Rim robots, who the fuck wins? That kind of shit. So either way, we will definitely see you guys in 2 weeks, and who knows what the fuck, but I might be petitioning Bill for, hey, I've sent you a bunch of random monster fights. Some of those could be fun. Let's talk that.
There we go. All right, guys. Later on.